What's up, YouTube? 007, still at it, giving you a brief update on what's going on with the 220 build. As you can see, it's still sitting on my dining room table, coming together slowly, but it's not something I want to really rush into. Although I am moving quicker than expected, things are going pretty smooth with the tank stand build, and getting it together slowly but surely, making a lot of progress. I forgot to mention earlier, I bought that black background you see right there at the pet store, and you're supposed to hear it with soapy water. I'm looking for a video on how to do that. Not sure if it's just self-explanatory, but if you got any pointers on how to apply that, give me a holler. Moving right along, got a little surprise. Thanks to Aqua Gardens, good people, good friends of mine, was able to get a donation for my build, and it is greatly appreciated. This tub here is full of live rock. I've watched these shipments come in from all over, from Australia and a couple other places in California and Florida, and this is like the leftover stock. Pieces that were too small, some rubble, or pieces that were just too big, and he got tired of stocking in his house, so he decided to give it to me. Big up, big thank you to Aqua Gardens, my man Ryan doing his damn thing over there. Let's take a peek. Sorry for the noise, people, but got some beautiful rock. We drained the water out of this thing and made it accessible for me to put it in the car. But this is at least maybe 100 pounds, maybe more, but I'm assuming about 100 because I was able to lift it up out and into my house by myself. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Prior to pulling this out, he was able to point out a lot of life that's on this rock. So I'm going to get this transferred into some containers I just picked up, get some salt water in there to retain that life, but it was full of worms and feather dusters, and yeah, get it back acclimated real quick before it dries out. Just got it home, so I'm going to get that taken care of as soon as I get through with this video. Been working diligently in my spare time away from work. Was able to construct this bad baby. This will be my new stand for the 220. It's a lot better and a lot beefier than my last. Put a lot more effort and strategic thought into it. I made a few errors like you see there, but nothing a little wood filler won't take care of, but you won't see that once I put the trim on anyway. But yeah, this is a beefy stand. It weighs about a good 120 pounds. Wasn't planning on that, but I wanted to put enough 2x6s, 2x4s into this thing to make sure it holds at least 2 tons. It's the top view. And my front view. Wrap this thing in pine. Beautiful grain. A little bit more sanding to do. A little bit more woodwork prepping. And this baby will be ready for stain. Not going to do doors like typically most stands have. I'm going to do pop-out panels, people. Pop-out. So this right here for the side panels. That'll come pop out over there against the wall. But this front panel, that'll be a pop out as well. It's a big pop out. I might cut it in half and make 2 pop outs, but doors are cool, but I'm in an apartment, so swinging big doors open against my table there that I've broken down to make room for this build temporarily. I'd just rather just pop them off and move them out the way till I'm done working. This is my back view. Be using a little 1/4 inch, I'm not sure what kind of board it is, but nothing fancy going back here, but I am going to encase it to try and cut down on some evaporation loss. And I'll be staining it with this right here, 1 step instead of staining it and putting a polyurethane on it. It's just kind of a one step. It's called Polyshade by Minwax. And we're going with the classic oak. And I'll be trimming it with a different stain color. Same stain color as I used here. That's a little dusty right now because I've been sanding inside the house, but I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a mahogany or a burgundy or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'll be doing my trimming that same color using what I got. Not the best person at staining, but I'm going to give it a whirl once again. Got some brushes and different grades, different types of brushes here, and a little foam pad. I've been sweeping it off, the little dust particles. I just come across some. But I want to give a big shout out to Garth Reef, who gave me a basic template on my design plans. Helped me a lot. I didn't follow this word for word or step by step because I want to beef it up a little bit, but I ended up drawing my own design. And there's actually more wood than you see in my design plan here. That is the top view, side view, front view, and like I said, I beefed it up, deviated a little bit from my design. Also went ahead and tried to map out my plumbing. So, any comments or thoughts or how to exactly plumb that thing? I have to skim my paper. I had it rolled up like it was a real blueprint. You know, trying to do it big. But that's that. 90's still doing okay. Still dirty. Not cleaning this thing. I'm breaking it down, people. I'm sorry. My glass is the last on my concern list, but my fish and corals tend to be doing happy. Got some Dunkins trying to split up here. And I didn't know what was going on with it, but I kind of see what it's doing now. One of the polyps wouldn't open, and it's actually trying to split and branch off, which is a good thing. And everything's, you know, doing pretty decent. Once again, I'd like to give a big thanks and shout out to Aqua Gardens. You know, beautiful people, beautiful family, business, and they helping me out real. Been helping me since I got in this business, well, this hobby, and I can't thank them enough. And that's it. Did go out and purchase some heavy-duty receptacles for my water. Mixing water, swapping water, doing water changes. Got these here. I'm not sure how sturdy they are. These are little cheap Rubbermaid containers, and they're basically for recycling. But for $10 a piece, I couldn't pass that up. And this one here was a beefy one. Got the wheels on it. Spent about $60 on this one. This is 44 gallon. Got my scoops ready. Getting ready to do my sand and everything. Washing that. Unfortunately, you know, I consulted with New York Stilo and a couple other guys, and New York Stilo was on my head about you know, using the old sand. So I am gonna keep the sand and wash it. I know I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna retain some of it to seed my new sand bed, but I just can't throw 150 pounds of sand away. There's no way I'm doing that with the money I paid for it from the local pet store. It's not like I got a wholesale or a good deal online, but I will wash it thoroughly and transfer it here. The first layer of sand will be brand new sand. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go completely dry or get a bag or two of the live sand that New York Stilo uses. I've been using dry sand and seeding it with live sand from the pet store and all my other tanks, but I just can't throw that sand away. You know, it's not happening. I just pray it doesn't come back and hit me in the ass, but I'm not throwing money away. I don't believe in throwing money away, so I'm gonna recycle that sand if it's the last thing I do. I've moved the 90 twice, and I didn't even think that far into it. I just moved the sand in buckets, came back and put it back in here when I moved to this apartment, and had a little bit of cyanobacteria breakout, but it was very minimal and didn't have to chemically treat it, and it just dissipated away with water changes and blowing it off the rock or the sand, whatever. And it's been doing fine. I do have some algae or whatever growing in the front pane of the sand bed, and from what I've noticed in other people's tank, this is normal. If I'm wrong, people, let me know. If that's bad, please let me know. It is an eyesore and it's ugly, but like I say, I'm having any real ammonia issues or phosphate issues, according to my water tests that I'm getting done at the local pet store. Big shout out to Prusa's Pets, good people. I'd like to thank a good buddy of mine. I like him a lot. A young guy named Shane, Wayne, Kirby, Mark, Steve, Jake, the man himself, Rick Bruce, his wife, and the rest of the staff. They're always helpful and adviseful whenever I go in there, and they'll tell you themselves, I spend hours in there some days just looking and asking questions. Sometimes I drive them crazy, but in my case and in this hobby, the only dumb question is the one you don't ask. So big shout out to Prusa's Pets. Thanks you a lot for my tank, getting everything I wanted with it. Met all my specs. Did have one slight issue. When I went to pick it up, they had some crates sitting on top of it, and I think it bowed out my top braces, or I'm not sure if that's just how they are, and maybe once you fill the tank up, that does something different. Maybe the tank expands a little bit, but I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't know if you can see that like I see it, but both braces have a slight bow down. I'm not happy about that. Kind of looks ugly, seeing I'm gonna go without a canopy, but we'll see what happens, people. This is 007, the brief update of the 220 build, tank and stand. More to come soon, and as always, there is no fishing in my aquarium.